Funny bitch.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Kentucky Hot Brown Boys podcast. I'm your host, Jerry Saylor. As always, in the studio with me tonight are my two best friends in the whole wide world. And I would just like to say we figured out earlier that I've known old Chubby Friendly here for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. We got to sit and talking about it. And 20 long years, man. We should like throw a party or something.
Yeah, like a 20-year friendship anniversary.
Yeah.
Friend-iversary.
Friend-iversary.
Yeah.
Is that what they call those? We should probably do that.
What do we do?
Let's do a podcast about it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it right now.
All right, right now.
Right now.
Do it right now.
Right now. Also in the studio with us, the man behind the cameras. He is Leopard Slope and Dusty B.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Right-hand man that sits on your left-hand side.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I know. I guess I got downgraded.
No, brain farts, man.
Yeah, we did it backwards. It threw everything for a loop.
It's all good.
It's a weird night, man. It's a weird night. How long have we known each other now?
Since 2013.
Well, that's when we started really hanging out. It was right before we started the podcast.
I'd say like late 2012 is where first time I actually met you. You thought I was like some country bumpkin asshole.
Yeah, I was about half right.
Yeah.
I got the asshole part right.
Yeah, you did. Thanks, man.
What's worse, being an asshole or like a country bumpkin?
Being a country bumpkin. For sure.
Yeah.
You can own being an asshole.
Yeah.
Own that asshole.
Oh, you asshole.
Oh, my God, it's in the ass. We do have a very special guest here tonight. I first met this lady. I don't even feel safe calling her a lady. Is that proper to call you a lady?
I hope so.
I mean,
what else would you call me?
I don't know. Some people don't like to be called lady. Anyway,
I'm fine with that.
I first met this lady when we moved into the new neighborhood here, and she's got two beautiful pit bulls that she walks every day. And some mornings I'm lucky enough to be able to go outside and pet her dogs and shoot the shit with her. And she's a pretty cool cat. She's probably the coolest neighbor I got.
Well, that's nice.
No, not probably. Definitely the coolest neighbor I got.
Yeah.
One neighbor.
Damn straight. I mean, sorry.
One neighbor today, it was the first time I ever seen him. He lives 2 doors down from me. First time I've ever seen him out. I was walking my dog, and I was like, howdy. And he would just,
fuck you.
like he didn't even say hello, hi, nothing. So I just turned around and kept walking, and I was like, could have at least said, hi, asshole. And he just went in his house.
Yeah.
Dicks, man, telling you.
You got people that scream at you for sitting in your car for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Not even me, that was you.
I want to know that story.
Yeah, that was... Dude, I literally just pulled up and turned around, and these chicks were just walking out. You know, you can't just sit in your car. And I was like,
You should have.
I could say otherwise. I'm sitting in it right now.
Should have pulled out your phone, start Facebook live streaming
I'll put you on the news.
I should have. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to get home. We're gonna watch a hockey game. She's like, you just can't sit there. I was like, well, they're not home, and I'm just sitting here. So
I don't understand.
Like I forgot
why.
my fucking juggling balls.
Yeah,
I do have to say though, because Jerry posted that on our Facebook page. We have this, neighborhood Facebook page. But the post right before that, I don't know if you knew. No. I had posted a picture of a van that I pulled up in my neighbor's driveway.
I did see that.
And so right before that, it probably was freaking them out. And they were already alert because this guy just randomly walked up to our neighbor's house to the back of it, didn't knock on the door or anything. And then he told us that he got a text from the owner that his wife is pregnant and he didn't want to mess with her and have her come outside. And it was like a cool day in August. So we were like, why? That just doesn't seem right. And then he went across the street and was in their backyard. So I was like, this guy is scoping us out. Turns out he was totally legit, but
so he didn't know that his wife was pregnant?
No, it was our neighbor's wife across the street, and he
was
just
like a buddy
came
checking in on her.
No, it was like a serviceman, so it was like a service van that pulled in, and he had but it was a blank van, so it was like a Dodge service van. And
it was a rape van.
That's exactly what it was, and I was like, oh, this is not good. And my neighbor caught him on his camera, so like we were just,
I'm gonna put you on the
news, right? So I was like, I'm putting him on the Facebook page.
Thanks, I got yelled at.
Sorry.
I was like, I was like, fuck these ladies. I'm leaving.
You got the creep van bullshit.
Yeah.
You weren't even in the van. It's an '86 Honda. How dare you?
Right?
I'm dressed. And I was dressed
like a
like
creeper.
I was dressed like this too. Like I'm waiting for a hockey game to start, and I was just
I just found this guy's wife's pregnant.
yeah.
Right? If you only would have known. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I knocked up some chick, and I'm sitting in my car waiting.
But anyway, our guest tonight, the lovely and talented Jen Crandall. How's it going?
It's good.
You've already kind of
Good.
been introduced, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, thanks.
But now everybody knows your name.
All right.
Johnny Cook says, "What's up, you smexy sumbitches and lady?
Well, thanks.
What's
Lady.
up? What's up?"
Hi, Johnny.
Oh, speaking of like people stealing stuff, I wonder if you ever stole caught the people stealing stuff off his front porch?
Oh no.
I like the little updates he's getting. He's like, I'm gonna catch these little assholes steal shit. He put like 10 put 10 bricks in an old Dell box or something like that. He's like, I want to see him try to run away with this.
I love getting the updates.
There's like a
Johnny.
trick box now that like there's a little explosive.
a shotgun shell.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
it's a
I've
shotgun
also
shell.
heard putting dog poop in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
People
that
are
would
doing
work,
that,
but
too.
A shotgun blast when you go to pick
That-
up a box would scare the shit.
Yeah, that would teach a lesson.
I'd leave my own shit.
Yeah. You have shit for later.
I'm so sorry.
You know, I really want to get one of those doorbell cams because
The
Or
Nest
like a
cams?
ring or
Yeah,
just
Nest
where
cams
it
are
records
attacked.
all the time. Like nobody ever really knocks on my door, but
yeah, people if they know you just
yeah, usually they just walk right
I
in.
don't say
You know? I mean, but if I don't know you, you're liable to get something pointed in your direction. You know,
It's cool. You can answer the door like through your phone. Like,
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
you want?
you don't even have to be home.
Yeah.
That's
which
the
is
kind
really
of system our neighbor has, where they
Oh,
can,
yeah.
like, if we walk in our backyard and that catches their light, even the dogs will accidentally cause the lights to go off in the back.
Yeah.
And it'll show a video on his camera. At least that's what it used to do. I'm assuming these are newer neighbors, but it seems like the same system.
Yeah.
I would imagine
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my neighbor over here. He's got cameras set up.
He's got one pointed
Oh,
right over here.
Yeah, pointed right in my yard.
We like to
You know,
pee in the corner of
It
the yard.
really seems like
Yeah.
everybody hates you. I don't understand
I
that.
don't know why people don't like
You're
me.
kind of a cool cat. I mean, at
thank
least what
you.
I've seen. So.
Thank you. You ain't seen nothing yet. But yeah, I mean, I just don't get it. Like my one neighbor thinks I'm like some huge pothead and into all kinds of drugs, and I don't know.
Well, you have all these random people coming over to your house.
Yeah,
so.
but if they knew why, they wouldn't think that. And then the other guy hates my dog and yells at my wife, and not really yells at my wife, because if he yelled at my wife, I'd jump the fence and whoop his old ass. But he just all the time bitching about the dog to my wife, and he never says anything mean to me at all.
Because you know you tell him off.
Yeah, I would. The guy down the street that didn't say hi to me today, that it didn't really make me mad. It
Yeah.
kind of made me sad.
Was it the one that has all of the vehicles on the corner, like in the in the like dead end right there?
It's literally like 2 houses down. It's not
I
like
don't
at the
know who that
very
is.
end. I don't know. I know he's in cahoots with the neighbor next to me that thinks I'm some big drug kingpin or something.
Hey man,
Yeah.
can you smell that?
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that story?
I didn't know.
When the day I moved in, I'm walking my dog outside, and he's standing on the property line, and I see him. I'm like, oh hey, what's going on, man? And he starts a conversation with me. I'm like, hi, I'm Jerry, blah blah, just moving in. He's like, yeah, I can see that, blah blah. And he's like, yeah, I seen you join the Facebook group for the neighborhood. I said, yeah, I'm trying to meet everybody and see what everybody's all about.
Sure.
And he was like, well, me and the guy next to me, the guy that didn't say hi to me today, we went on your Facebook page and we seen that you support marijuana. And I'm like, what? And he's like, well, you got a big picture of it on some kind of podcast page that you do. And I was like, yeah, they're voting on it to, pass for medical use. And he's like, well, you're not a big dope smoker, are you? Or something like that. And I'm like, no. He's like, I also noticed you got one of them little vape things, too. You don't smoke no pot out of that? And keep in mind, this guy sounds like Chong.
Yeah, he really does.
The whole time
Nice.
I'm talking to him, he's like, hey, man.
Maybe he was
Yeah.
actually trying to befriend you.
Maybe he was trying to be friendly. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he
maybe.
thought I was Holden. I don't know. But
I think he did.
he basically told me that like him and the other neighbor guy like Facebook stalked the shit out of me, and now they think I'm
What is? People
I
have
don't
too
know.
much time on their hands.
I know. But he mentioned my vape, and he was like, he was like, yeah, you don't smoke weed out of that, do you? And I'm like, no. I was like, and I went to fill it back up, and he's like,
but like he sounded like a dog. He's like,
yeah. And I'm like, you can smell it. There's nothing illegal in here. And I held it up to him, and he did. He buried his nose in it and was like,
I bet you he was trying to sniff it for the other reason.
He probably was.
He was hoping.
Yeah, he sounded like he was hoping that I was smoking weed.
Man, my dealer just moved right next door.
He's like, you just stick it in my mailbox, man.
Right?
He's just walking over, man.
Gosh.
But like that was my first impression of this guy. That like he sounds like Tommy Chong, but yet he's like giving me shit because I might smoke weed. It's like, what? Like, come on, dude.
Wow.
Get over yourself.
That's sad. I'm sorry.
And then,
I love my neighbors. I have great neighbors.
I wish I had awesome neighbors. I wish you were my neighbor. That'd be super cool. At least my dogs could like run the fence line and play.
Right.
That'd be really cool.
They would. Except for then you'd probably have another ACL surgery for your dog.
Maybe. Who knows?
Mine has had 2.
2? I thought
Annie's had 2.
One. Oh, wow.
Well, she had 1 surgery, both knees, at the same time.
That ain't cheap either.
Oh my gosh, that was almost the same amount as my right knee ACL repair.
Johnny Cook says, you don't know what you're missing until you vape some concentrate. Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. That's the rumor going around.
Yeah. Man, you're so disruptive to our neighborhood.
I know.
Or eat a whole shitload of brownies.
Right.
I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. I try to be friendly with everybody. I've never really had a beef with anybody, but yet I guess maybe I'm new.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Don't take it too personally. Just, well, you got to just shrug it off.
One of the reasons we moved from our other house is the wife really started to dislike the other neighbors we had there. So it's like as soon as we move in here, she's starting shit with the guy next door over the dog. And I'm like, honey, I don't want to move again because you don't like the neighbors. Just cut it out. Just quit it. And then, like, I'm trying to, like, make friends with everybody, and you're, like, the only person that's friendly. The one lady, the 2 ladies across the street, they're kind of nice.
Yeah.
But,
the 2 that are, there's one right across the street that has a bunch of cats that she walks on with leashes.
She walks a cat on a leash?
She walks multiple cats on leashes.
They got, like, what, 3 cats or something
like
that?
I think so. And she's actually let the dogs come up near them whenever it was like early spring she started coming out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was really nice, but then she kind of disappeared, so I thought she was a snowbird or something and went, south for the winter. I don't know.
Her and her husband are super quiet. You don't see a whole lot out of them.
Yeah, I saw them at 7 in the morning because that's when I used to walk the dogs. Now I'm sleeping in a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could sleep in.
Dang
I
kids.
so wish I could, man. I don't know if you know this. We have 2 foster daughters now.
Yeah, we ran into each other the other day at B-Dubs.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's when I learned. I didn't realize that.
And my 2 boys, they'll sleep in. They won't wake me up. But these 2 are up at the crack of dawn every morning. Unless it's a school day. If it's a school day, I have to wake them up. But if it's a weekend, I'll be damned. They wake me up every day. Every day. The ass crack of dawn. Oh. If the light's up, they're up. It's crazy.
Well,
they seem like they're a little.
They're 100 miles an hour, 24/7, man.
So I remember one day we were outside talking, and you had brought your dog out. Dexter came out to visit my dogs, and I saw one of your sons and a girl upstairs. And whenever you told me the foster daughters were here, that all of a sudden I realized, because in my head I was like, did they have a girl spend the night? I mean, that's a really cool parent that let a daughter spend the night with a boy. I mean, it's younger, so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But
you just thought my son was a stud.
I did. I was like, man, that's awesome. And there's only like at a certain age level, then after it passes it, there's no way any parent would let that happen.
Yeah.
So
as soon as they're a teenager, I don't think it's gonna happen. You've got a teenager. Would you let your teenage daughter go sleep at a boy's house?
No.
Would you let a teenage boy come sleep over at your house?
No.
No, I don't blame you.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got it tied up in the basement.
I rarely let her girlfriend stay over because, I mean, it's just me and
bunch
her.
Bunch of catty teenage girls.
See that.
Screw that.
I can see how you kind of feel a little out of place.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, My Chemical Romance.
And I'm like, come on, Dad, we can stay up until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like,
I grew up with sisters, and all their friends would come over. So yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
That's girls slumber parties they stay up all night.
It's fun to scare the shit out of them.
Yeah,
I like to do that.
And that's exactly the role my brother played.
Scaring the shit out of you.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. I remember one time I wore a Jason mask and like I just put a backwards jacket on and like because like the laundry room was right there and I would knock on the window and like they would open up the window and they were there. I remember all of them like shit their pants. Oh my god! Yeah. One of them came outside, tried to like hit me, and I was like, I'm just playing.
Wow.
Yeah.
She hadn't learned that lesson to not do that.
Yeah.
She's gonna be the one on like Friday the 13th that gets killed first.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're gonna see her on the news.
Right. Jeez.
Well, to get down to business here, folks, we did have election day on Tuesday. Happy to say I voted. I know, Jen, you voted, right?
I voted.
Yeah, glad to hear that. I know Dusty voted.
I did.
I know Tim can't vote because he's a convicted felon.
No.
Did you vote?
No, I didn't.
And why?
Well,
They had to work.
It's because you're a convicted felon.
No, I had to be up at 4:30 in the morning to go work. I work at a building that was hosting the polls.
I'm sure that's your polling station.
You
though,
were
right?
already.
My polling station.
How is that not your polling
How is
station?
that not
You're
your
just
polling
right
station?
there.
You're
I
right
know.
across the street. You can
there's
throw
like
a rock.
There's like a church down the street, and
Oh,
they're a
that's
polling
the church
station.
I used to go to.
By law, they're supposed to give you like 3 or 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
To go vote.
Well, I mean, I did. Like, I got out of there at 1:30 because I was there
To go
at
vote.
5.
And
no,
you were
I
just
went
like,
home.
Oh.
Well, you had to get up
1:30 was my
4:30.
shift. Yeah, and I was already dead. Like, it was so hard for me to fall asleep Monday night, and then I got up at 4:30, and by 1:30 I was dead.
You should have just went and voted.
I know. I
You
should've.
un-American
Takes-
prick.
5 minutes.
But I couldn't vote for Joe, so it was like
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
that
not,
was the only poll or the voting thing that I cared about.
yeah.
Everything
So
else I was
you don't
completely
live in Independence
No.
area then? Okay.
Covington.
Now,
Covington.
for any of the naysayers who say that nobody ever learns anything from our show and that we are pointless and stupid and don't ever give anybody anything to talk about, Jen, will you please tell them what you told me earlier?
I voted because of the podcast.
Thank you.
I listened
Yes.
to it, and I probably wouldn't have gone. And I went Friday because I had to travel on the election day. I was traveling, so I was in Florida, and
Nice.
I was kind of nice because I just got back from Florida, so escaped the heat, or the cold. But so I went and voted on Friday to make sure I got it done, and I did vote for Joe because
Yes.
of listening to the podcast. I was like, man, he seems like a pretty
Stand-up guy.
Yeah.
He did. I didn't share it on the comments whenever I was listening to it, but I wanted to.
You watched it live?
No, I didn't
Oh.
watch it live.
She
I watched it
after the
after.
fact.
But Joe was walking our neighborhood, and I'm sure that's when he introduced himself to you and how you probably that same night.
He left a flyer on my door. I missed him. I was wanting to talk to him. He stopped and talked to Dustin over at his neighborhood.
Okay.
And he gave me the heads up. He's like, dude, this guy's running for mayor. I kind of mentioned the podcast. He might be interested.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, cool. Well, when he comes to my house, I'll make sure I talk to him. Well, he just left a flyer on my door.
Yeah.
And I
He
missed
was
him.
walking our neighborhood a little bit late that night.
Let me
Well,
get. Was he driving a rape van? Did you
No.
take
Was he
video
sitting
of
in
it?
his car?
Let me tell you, he scared the shit out of us because we were backing out of our driveway and it was dark. It was probably like, I don't know, what time is it anymore at dark? I don't know.
Now it's like 5:30.
Yeah, but it was like 7 o'clock, so it was before the time changed. But it was just enough that I couldn't see him. My windows are tinted, not terribly, but enough. I didn't see him at all, and luckily he was standing on the side of our driveway, and I looked over, and there he was. I was like, holy shit. So then I rolled down the window, and he's like, I thought you saw me, and I was like, you're going to get yourself killed. So, I was the one that he scared to death. I'm sure it was probably memorable.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I want to tell people this before he goes to the polls.
So the guy running for mayor totally creeped on me in my car the other day.
Yeah. Well, and the thing was, I'm so glad you did the podcast because I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I didn't go to the event that he did at Donato's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that opportunity. But after listening, I was like, well, I understand. And it made me think I thought he lived in our neighborhood whenever he was talking about there was some kind of event that happened in his neighborhood and he didn't feel like he was heard. And
Yeah.
I know we just had some kind of hearing on October 6th, I think.
For the new subdivision?
The new division, because it's they're changing the plot size or the lot sizes to a little bit smaller. So
Are they going to connect the neighborhoods together?
that's what I've heard.
Really?
I have not heard the report of that.
I think what everybody's concerned about is like they're not going to be as expensive houses or something like that, and they're worried
Right.
about everybody's property value dropping.
Oh,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
over yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
Independence.
and there was another gentleman that walks. I talk to everybody in the neighborhood. So, and there's another guy that lives at the front of the neighborhood, and he and I were talking about it the other day, and he said that there's going to be like 300 new homes in that section, and then there's plans for another 200.
Dang.
So that's going to put like 1,000 vehicles potentially coming and going in our neighborhood. So that could be a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's a lot of traffic just right there on Bristow,
Right,
too, because it's just
right.
a 2-lane road.
Yeah. But that's why I thought Joe was in our neighborhood. And so then I started connecting the wrong dots. So I had to do some research and research a little bit more about him.
So how did Joe do?
He got 30% of the votes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He only campaigned for 6 weeks,
Wow.
but he got 30% of the votes. I looked all over that night trying to find it. Like
I
I'm
couldn't
watching
find it either.
I'm watching all the news channels and they're
Nobody's
talking
covering
about
mayors.
Yeah, nobody was covering the mayor of Independence. They covered the mayor of Florence.
Okay.
I'll say that. But I couldn't find it. So like I even messaged like the city of Independence. I was like, hey, how can I find out the numbers here? And I still haven't got a response back from them. But I messaged.
That's our shitty mayor for you.
So I messaged Joe's page and was like, hey, you know, what are the results? What's up? And he was like, we only got 30% of the votes.
Only, but I mean,
Oh, somebody just might cut out here. Let's take care of this.
Hold up.
You don't have to do that, man. All right, try that now.
check.
There we go.
Oh, I hear you.
We're back in it now.
I hear myself too.
Technical
Okay.
difficulties.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah, technical difficulties happen. We're prone to technical difficulties.
As long as the power doesn't
Yeah,
just cut.
as long as we don't talk about
Don't
you
talk
know.
about Jim Jones.
Oh, you said it. You can't say the name, man. You can't say it.
I'm talking about the rapper. Ballin'.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't even know what. So I messaged
Joe.
Joe, and he was like, "Yeah, we only got 30% of the vote," and I was like, "It sucks." Do I sound really echoey now?
Yeah, it sounds like there's something. Like we got some other pickup of something.
That seemed to.
That's it. That helped it. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and talk for me again, Jen.
Okay.
There we go.
All right,
Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Technical. Don't say his name.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Here, knock on wood just to help.
Yeah. Let's not.
Jonestown.
Throw some
Shut
salt.
up! Damn it! The lights are gonna
happening.
start flickering and shit. Got any Kool-Aid?
I'm glad I'm not the only superstitious one in the.
I'm more superstitious than anything.
After the night that happened,
Yeah.
like it happened like 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, I'm pretty superstitious.
Yeah,
That's
I wasn't
crazy.
a superstitious person before that.
Yeah.
Those incidents.
The only thing that I regret about that night is because of like the tape delay or whatever. Like you don't actually see the moment
Yeah.
that it happened, because the moment it happened was epic. Because
Yeah.
I was getting fired up.
Yeah.
I was like, "You want to fucking go there? Let's do it.
Let's talk about
and
it.
then boom, power outage. But then when you watch it back, it's like 30 seconds.
Yeah, before that moment.
Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, "That's really great to have on video," because I was getting fired up. That was
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
So Joe lost, sadly. I wish he would have become the mayor, because that would have been pretty sweet.
Well,
Yeah.
he did
He's a good
say that because he had so much support that he plans on running again the next
Good.
time.
Wow.
So that's
Yeah.
good. And imagine if he would have started his campaigning, 14 weeks ahead
Yeah.
of time instead of 7.
I told him, man. I was like, if you need help, if you next time you run, man, I'll help you out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just seemed like a genuine good
Yeah.
guy. Like that's
Yeah.
the kind of person you want to
Right.
be mayor.
My
Somebody
only
that's-
beef with him is he's a Blackhawks fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only beef with him.
Yeah.
I will say the Blackhawks just lost their head coach.
Fired. And he had 3 Stanley Cups, which is even more crazier.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking Blackhawks fan. Fuck out of here. Vote for Joe.
Go with Joe.
Go with Joe.
Go with Joe.
I like vote for Joe. That works.
Yeah, vote for Joe. Just sounds cool.
Yeah. But now you can say, where's he going?
Nowhere! Where are you going? Nowhere!
He's going fucking
Nowhere! Nothing against her, we're just messing with you.
Yeah.
We love you, Joe. we still need to have you back on too, because for one, you said you'd do it after the election.
Yeah.
And two, we'd like to have you back on anyway.
Yeah.
Now that you're not running for political office, maybe we can get down and dirty and shoot the shit like we normally do. We gave you a good episode. Give us a good episode. It'll just be for us. We won't.
I
put
think
it
that's
out
a fair
there.
trade.
Yeah.
That is a fair trade.
Yeah.
I thought we did really good that night.
The only thing I regret is just drinking.
It was so funny.
It wasn't so bad during the show.
No,
I
that
didn't.
was right
I was
after
going
the
to say
show.
I didn't notice any of that, but I was listening to it while walking the dog. So sorry,
Yeah.
but that's how I did it.
I had 4 like 10% alcohol beers throughout the course of the show. So by the end of the show, I was pretty good.
He was like, you know what?
The show's typically an hour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Typically.
that's
So
a bit
4,
much.
yeah, 10% alcohol beer.
You basically drank like a 40.
That's like, well, most of the beers are like 5%, 5.5.
Yeah.
And so that would have been like 8 beers.
Right.
They're delicious, though.
They are delicious.
Yeah. They're one of my
They're
favorites.
cherry cordial.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
they taste chocolatey and have like a cherry
I've
finish.
had that.
It's a dessert
I've
beer.
had that over at one of the Asian restaurants in Covington. What's the name of that one that's down there? It's like an awesome, like
Is that the one Saul works at?
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
Mare Asia.
Oh, they're Asia, yes.
Yeah, they
Come
have
love that place.
that
Yeah.
beer there.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It is
Yeah.
so good.
I love eating there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been there a couple times. It's pretty good.
I haven't been there in years.
You like
but-
spicy foods?
It just depends. It depends.
All right, so it was so funny because we went there the first time we ever went there. The lady, he's like, "So how spicy is it?" She's like, "It's pretty spicy." She's like, she rated it out, and he was like, "Well, give me a 7." And she's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, give me a 7." So and I'm like, "Give me a what did I say 4?"
Something like that.
I think I said,
yeah.
"Give me a 4." So. Brought his food, brought my food, and I'm sitting eating. I'm like over here, like I'm sweating, like I'm dying. And he's over there like, man, it ain't really that hot. And then really about 10, 15 minutes later, he's like, dude, screw this, man. I'm never getting a 7 ever again. It's so
I
funny.
forgot because I used to go with my gym. I had my gym owner, that Joe. I don't know if you guys know Joe Daniels. Have you heard of him? He's out of Latonia.
Has he got a brother named Jack?
No.
No. I know Jack.
No,
Famous
no,
guy.
no.
Yeah.
No, Joe's if you're into working out or doing any kettlebell work, Joe's your guy.
Nice.
And he all the gym members we were really close, so we all went over to Marasia and tried it, and somebody warned me
Yeah.
of the spiciness, and until you said that, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's all like powder. They like measure out like this powder that they mix with
The
it.
ghost pepper
Yeah.
powder.
yeah, it's the ghost
Oh, man.
peppers. Yeah.
What's weird is after that, I ate a 7 again, and it
Yeah.
wasn't as
It wasn't
hot.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like the girl
Because
was
it
like
burnt your taste buds
Yeah,
off.
probably.
You know, so you're
Fired
building
them
that
up, yeah.
immunity.
the girl was like, we got a new guy. I told him it was a 7. Give him like a 15. They're like, okay.
He acted all smug about it, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
give
up,
him like a 10.
Yeah.
up that shit. Never gonna fuck with his colon
I
for
would-
a day or two.
I would
Right.
do that to people.
I would.
I would so do it to people.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody came in like, "Psh, I eat hot stuff all the time,"
Yeah.
I'd be like, "All right, you're gonna get it."
I'll be like chopping up like reapers and like ghost peppers and fresh
yeah.
and just here you go.
What was that pepper that Toby ate? That was
it
like a
it was
hybrid
reaper.
or something, wasn't it?
I think it was a reaper. I think it was a hybrid. I was something.
was-
I
it
haven't
was like
heard
a-
of that
yeah.
one.
It was like a Reaper
Carolina Reaper?
and
I haven't heard. Well, I mean, I've heard of Carolina Reaper, but that's
Yeah.
not what I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
no.
There's a lot of YouTube videos of like people doing the Carolina Reaper challenge. They're really funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Some
the
people can't
reapers,
handle
the
it.
reapers are hot, and they're like, but like they make extracts that are like hotter.
Yeah.
So they're hotter than reapers. Like the devil's was it the devil's toe?
Yeah.
The Bell Life 8.
Anything with an extract,
Yeah.
in its
Anything with
name,
extract.
Yeah.
you know it's gonna be hot as shit.
So
Yeah.
extracts are.
Do you ever watch that interview show on YouTube with the guy who eats like hot wings?
Yeah, hot ones.
Yeah, hot ones. We watched them together. That's
Yeah,
right. We
yeah.
watched
Hot
Post
Ones is
Malone.
good.
Yeah. But I think they end with Devil's Spit. Was
Yeah.
like, and that's like an extract. It's just drop, and that's what he always says. Like just dab for the last one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up the heat scale on
The
them,
Scoville
so that,
scale?
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know. It's like
I
2
don't know if
million
ghost
or
pepper.
something.
Yeah,
4
and
million or
I'm not
something.
finding a lot of info on it. Pure
Capsaicin?
Yeah, thank you. That's like 15 to 16 million on the scale, where like the Carolina Reaper is 22 million
Yeah.
or 2.2 million. I'm
Oh,
sorry. So it's a little
2.2,
bit,
yeah.
yeah. So
I was gonna say, damn, I was way off.
ghost pepper is 800,000 to a million,
Yeah.
a little over a million. But
The
yeah.
guy that breeds the reapers.
How do
well,
you
actually
how do you breed a reaper?
well, it's just like It's just like botany. It's just like anything like with fruit and stuff like that.
Well, when you say the word breed, I think
it's like it is kind of like breed. You take a male plant, and then you take pollen, and you just pollinate the plant, and then till you get to like whatever that you want.
Plant fucking.
They do the
Plant
same.
fucking.
It is.
I mean, they do the same thing with weed.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but that's how
It's not quite the same as what we do.
Yeah, but yeah, he said that he's got like 3 or 4 peppers that are hotter than that he hasn't released yet.
Johnny Cook says Hot Ones is the best show on YouTube after KYHBB.
Wow, there you
Thanks,
go.
man.
Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah.
Next time you're in town, you need to stop in, bro.
Yeah, he had the chance to stop it, and he
I know.
didn't. Like, I got my dad. Like, your
Yeah.
dad could be on the show. Why not?
he can take the blow-up doll in the
Yeah.
back and, just give him a few minutes. He'll be
Yeah.
asleep,
Yeah.
Or
Or you can sit in the car and get yelled at.
Yeah, that'll work, too. Or if he really felt up to, you can start walking around the back side of people's houses talking about text messages about pregnant women and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then you're going to get something blasted on Facebook about you.
Yeah.
I'll put you on the news.
Oh, man.
Moving along here, we got other great election news here. Dusty's got my notes over there. The only thing that I can think of is Kim Davis.
Yeah.
The infamous Kim Davis. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about this, Jen. Do you know who Kim Davis is?
I, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I do not.
She is the lady that down in Kentucky wouldn't let gay people get married.
Oh, I do remember
The marriage
stories.
license lady.
Yeah.
The
So-
county clerk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She lost her re-election. Yes, I know, right? Such a sad day. And
That
she,
slut.
And she, she lost to a Democrat. Yeah. So that just crushes her right there, man. She's hating life right now.
Was
I
it a
couldn't
gay
be-
Democrat? That would have been even
Oh, I
better.
know.
That would have been awesome.
Or like a trans Democrat would be even better.
Oh,
Yeah.
a trans who identifies as black or something. That'd be even better.
Ooh,
I don't know.
that would be good.
That'd be
All right,
like-
we're going down that wormhole.
that'd be
there.
that'd be some Forrest Tomer shit right there.
Yeah.
Let's not even say his name either.
Ugh.
Yeah. So fuck Kim
Talk about the
Davis,
lights
she's
going
done.
out.
Yeah. Lights would go out and a T-Rex fall from the ceiling or
Yeah.
some shit. What else do I got in my notes over there? The
Didn't Michigan pass medical?
No, they passed legalization.
Just
full
legalization?
I thought it was
Medical's
medical.
already
That's
there.
what I thought it was
Yeah.
medical.
I thought it was just medical.
They got people already trying to fight it. They're like, "We don't want that legalization." I'm like, "Have you guys seen Detroit? Yeah, it can
Yeah.
need it. Detroit
need the
needs
money.
something. Need the money. Yeah,
Detroit
take
needs
the
it
money.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were paying people to move up there. Like,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like giving like giving it away.
Hell yeah. There's
Like-
a lot of states up north that are like that. I know Vermont's a state that if you move there and you work from home, they'll give you like a $20,000 stipend or something like that.
Stop it right now.
Yeah.
I work from home. I
Yep.
need to move to Vermont.
So it's a beautiful place.
It
When
is.
I read that, I was like, man, that's
I'd like to go to Vermont and
I
then
have to
cross
think
over
about
into
that.
Canada. Get some French fries and gravy, sir.
Yeah. Go to Toronto. It's about a 300-mile drive.
Well, all of Canada's weed legal now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought that's why you were mentioning Toronto. I know.
No, I was just
wasn't it
talking
legal
about-
in Toronto before?
Something like it was decriminalized or something.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, all of Canada is legal in the marijuanas now.
Yeah.
So
I know.
Well, and
I
they're
got stock
talking
in it.
about it in the news, aren't they? About how much money that they're bringing back into the country because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
take
there's-
note, everybody.
Right. And they, actually, I know I saw in the news about that. Somebody was in front of Congress talking about that in the healthcare systems. So
Yeah, they
and-
had a big thing where everybody was like, the FDA wanted to collect a bunch of not the FDA, who's the food?
That's
Is it-
FDA.
yeah,
That's the FDA.
They wanted like a bunch of people to like send emails and like get their input on like what they think about legalization, what the impact is, and things like that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
they got about 10,000 emails. They were only wanted 10,000. They got their I think
They got
they
their
got
poll.
their what they wanted, but I heard they got way more than that. So
We also got Jeff Sessions out of the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
out of the booth there.
yeah, fired.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did he get fired? Or he
No,
quit?
he resigned because he was requested to resign. So
Oh,
it's
so he's
basically,
fired. Yeah. Little Keebler elf looking motherfucker.
I know.
Fuck him.
Like
Hates Jeff
SNL is
Sessions.
hurting, dude. Because Kate McKinnon did such a good impersonation of him.
Oh yeah.
She did like the elf on the shelf, Jeff Sessions for the Christmas episode.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. I
It was
wanna see
awesome.
that.
Well, I'm sure they'll do another one tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll definitely reference it, but like after that, it goes away.
Yeah, they can
Moves-
still bring it up if they
moves
want to.
fast.
though.
It'll come back. They
Yeah.
always bring stuff back.
Yeah. Maybe in like 10 years they'll bring her back for like a reunion show or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Did Eddie Murphy ever do a comeback on that?
Just for their, what was it, 30?
Yeah.
Was it
30?
30? Yeah, I think I remember watching that now.
Yeah. And he did like a speech before something happened, like he was hosting.
Yeah.
Not hosting.
He was like a co-host.
Presenter. He was
Yeah.
just a presenter.
Oh, okay.
And then that was it. That's all he did.
You know who I wish would have came back on the 30th anniversary of SNL?
Who?
Sinead O'Connor.
Oh,
Dude, I heard she's like crazy now.
oh dude,
Yeah,
she's
she-
crazy
Well,
back
she's
then.
crazy, dude. Like, she's like really crazy now.
What's funny is, she ripped up a picture of the Pope,
Yeah.
which everybody got all butthurt about.
Mm-hmm.
But like just a couple months ago, they were coming out like the Catholic Church was like, yeah, we covered up 800,000 molestations or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And people were like, maybe Sinead O'Connor was onto something.
She's
we
like
just
Muslim
didn't
now,
listen.
and she changed her name.
She's Muslim.
Yeah, she
Wall.
changed her name.
Wow.
Wall.
Yeah.
Can't have them people coming here, man.
I think the big thing about that when she ripped up the thing was that she requested to do something like that, and SNL blatantly told her no, and then she went out and did it anyway. So she immediately got banned from the show, and that made news. And then it was because it was the Pope, and yeah.
Gosh, wasn't this like 15 years ago?
Longer than that. It was
No,
probably-
yeah, it was like in the early
close-
90s.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 20, 25.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, 3, 4
Could you
decades
imagine,
ago.
Could you
Like a long
imagine now
time.
with our social media if, like Saturday Night Live could have done nothing about that if she decided to do that like on her tweet, tweet it out.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that Katie Griffin, what was her name?
Yeah,
Kathy
Kathy
Griffin, yeah.
Andy Dick and Drag, as I like to call her.
with the Trump head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
funny.
Yeah, and you just can't take it back now. I'm so well.
It's out there.
And you guys are youngins. I know we talked about that before the show that I'm a little bit older than you guys, but I'm like I am so thankful that this computer in our pocket was not available when we were kids because I'd be in so much trouble. I think all of us would be in so much trouble.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
I don't know how kids deal with it. Or
I would have
parents
hated to
deal
go
with
through
it.
high school with a smartphone or social media. I kind of went through MySpace a little bit. That was like late at the end though.
For you,
for me,
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
So it was kind of nice not having to go through it like, all the time. So that was kind of cool. I couldn't do it now. Heck no.
Back when I was a senior, we just had the Nokias.
Yeah.
You could play Snake on it.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Dude, Nokias were awesome. They were so destructible.
They're still like mine hasn't been used in probably 20 years. I mean, it's still working fine.
You guys are hilarious.
Yeah.
Nokia was probably my second or third phone. My dad had me. I had a bag phone in like
a bag phone?
94.
Really?
My dad made me have a bag phone in my car.
My dad had one of those. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
But that thing was
awesome.
expensive too.
I bet it was. I have no idea.
How was
but
the reception on that thing?
I don't remember it very well, but it was like a corded phone, like you would pull off the wall. So you had the whole curly Q wire to it.
You're like dialing with
Right.
They actually say that the bag phones had better reception than phones nowadays. Like you could be anywhere with a bag phone and get reception. And they actually put something in they changed something in the infrastructure of the cell phone towers that those phones they won't even pick them up now.
Wow.
Because it's like military use or something like they.
Oh, okay.
They're so good. Like the military's like nope.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Cut
it off.
Yeah, that's ours. That's us.
Well,
yeah.
I can tell you, I went. My parents were divorced, so my dad and my stepmom, they put the bag phone in my car. My mom and my stepdad and we traveled to out west, and I did a trip for 2 weeks, and I was driving, so they wanted me to have it in my car. So just in case, they were big worry warts, and so I was like, okay, whatever. But I could call them every step of the way. We were in the middle of Yellowstone National Park, where there'd probably be no reception in the early 90s, and I had
probably
no
still
problem.
no reception.
Yeah, probably not.
No, this day and age, there's probably
There's something.
Verizon's got a tower out there.
But
they
it's
have a
protected
tower
land.
right there on one of the president's heads on Mount Rushmore.
they trust me, Verizon's got.
They got
that Google money, man. they're
I'm
like, hey,
sorry,
look
I can't agree
Yellowstone.
that they have good reception everywhere. Verizon, I can't even get it in my house sometimes.
Is that who you have as Verizon? See, I have Sprint, and I think Sprint sucks. We had Verizon before, and I loved it. I never had a problem with it.
Yeah, I have it cut out in certain places. I mean, when you work from home, you start noticing if you have some problems. Yeah, I'm on my phone all the time.
Do you connect your phone to your home Wi-Fi?
I do. I started having to
I was
because
going
I
to
couldn't
say,
get
you
calls.
shouldn't have an issue as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I do most of my work. I do like through Join Me or through Skype and get those kind of calls so that I don't have to worry about it because I have a lot of international clients.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just your business.
Any of them Asian?
Nice.
Yes. Yes, they are.
She's probably wondering.
Did they vote in the Erection?
What?
No. No, they did not. Well, I don't know. I can't say that because
they're international. As long as they're not Russian,
That's
they're
right.
not
yeah,
voting.
you're right. They're not. I won't work with Russians.
What do you got against Russians, man?
Yeah,
Was it
no.
Rocky 3 that did it for you? That's what did it for me.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for Creed 2.
I still gotta watch Creed
Oh my
1.
God, I
Yeah.
can't wait for Creed 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what comes out this? I think it's this weekend. Is Overlord. I want to see that.
See, I'm kind of iffy on that, man.
I want to see that.
Is that
flick.
that new?
It's like the World War II
Nazi
zombies
zombies.
or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did that? That was
It's not. It's J.J. Abrams producing, but somebody else
Is
directed
it
it.
Blumhouse or something?
I think it is Blumhouse.
Yeah, they did Halloween.
Yeah.
And
I saw that movie again.
Why?
Took her to see it.
Why would you drag him through that movie again? It's terrible. Shame on you. You should be grounded for a decade.
We went to a late night showing too, so it was like us and maybe 2 or 3 other couples.
nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I felt about the same
the
watching it
second
again.
time through.
See, here's the thing: the why I wanted to give it a second shot was I was talking about it to somebody, and I was like, the first one left it up in the air until the very end. You didn't know if he was just a crazy guy from an institution or he was like a legit unkillable boogeyman.
Right.
So it kind of toys with that aspect. Your fear makes him out to be more, right? But at the very end, he gets shot, he falls out the window, then he's gone. So, confirmed, boogeyman.
Straight up boogeyman.
Huh?
What was it?
spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't have gone
it
to
was
see it.
1978, so.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the original Halloween?
No, I probably haven't.
What?
No, I'm not a scary movie
Shut
girl.
the front door.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not either.
Yeah, he's
That's
not
his
either.
wheelhouse.
I'm not a fan of.
Oh, man.
Like if it messes with me psychologically, like I
No.
watched Scream whenever it first came out, and that was toast. I did not.
That was probably the last good horror movie that's been out.
I heard that. I've heard
I thought
people
they
say
were
that.
remaking Halloween though, so that's what I thought you were talking about.
Well, yeah,
was
that's what we were
the
saying.
remake.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Well,
the remake
Did they-
sequel,
Right.
whatever. Yeah. It's garbage.
Yeah. So I went back again because the problem when we did our podcast about it was I was like, it wants to be 2 different things.
Yeah.
Or maybe even more, because we were confused about how the bus crashed and all this stuff. So I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, maybe the movie was just leaving it open again. Is he Mike Myers the killer, or is he the boogeyman? And yes, I went back and watched it again, and I still just have the same questions. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like it the first time.
The girl power aspect of the movie, and the fact that they play out the men to either be dummies who get themselves killed or just bad guys.
Yeah.
And that aspect of it too, I'm like, I mean, it's 2018, and that's kind of why I wanted to get her take on it too, because I'm like, this movie is for her generation.
I never really put the connection that like obviously it's like a strong female lead, but I never really, until you said that, I was like, they did kind of make all the dudes out to be like dumbasses who just get killed
or evil.
Yeah, or
like her boyfriend was a dick.
Yeah.
The dad was a dummy. The cops were dummies, and then the doctor was evil.
The bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I went back and watched it again.
Damn them women and wanting rights and shit. That's just no offense, Jen, but that's just I gotta draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
I just want to know, did she eat Activia at all during this movie? She didn't like.
Every scene she held a cup in her hand.
Yeah. Or it was like sitting like in the back on like the countertops.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like she's out there eating it like I could shit so good right now.
Every other scene was her taking a shit.
Yeah.
And then Bill Paxton shows up and he's like, she could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
As like a 10-year-old boy.
She could start a leaf blower.
Ass make you bend over and beg for buttermilk. God, I miss Bill Paxton, man.
I do too.
I love him, man.
Wow.
Aside from True Lies, his best role was Weird Science.
Yes.
Or Aliens.
Twister as well.
Yeah, Twister.
Oh,
was
Oh yeah,
Twister.
Twister.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we get talking about Bill Paxton? That's crazy.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Right.
Rest in peace. Let's talk some more election stuff.
Yeah.
What's the guy in Nevada who used to run the Bunny Ranch?
Dennis
Dennis
Hoff.
Hoff.
Dennis
Yes,
Hoff.
Dennis
I thought
Hoff.
it said hot. It says Hoff.
Yeah, sorry, my handwriting's
That's
dirty.
cool, dude.
Dennis Hoff, formerly of the Bunny Ranch, who recently died.
Is still the mayor.
He's not a
Oh, no,
mayor.
yeah,
he's
he's
like a seat on the, what's it say, like a state representative or something.
He won our Nevada State Assembly.
Yeah, he's
70%
a
the votes
member
or
of the
some shit.
Nevada State Assembly.
Wait,
something
and
like
he's
that,
dead?
Yeah, he died, and they told him to stay on the, like, they told his camp, like, keep him on the ballot. Keep him on the ballot. And he won by an absolute landslide.
Does this not feel like voter fraud, or is that
His dog's taking over for him.
kind of like rabbit hash?
Well, because he was already on the ballot, and then he died before Election Day, but they kept him on, I think, just to steal votes from other people.
Wow.
But he won. Like, he didn't, like, just steal votes. He won by an absolute landslide.
Because people go in without researching, so he looked
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
I'm sure, or he was the right party.
Maybe they were hoping like a hooker would take his place.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of
Have
people
some
didn't even know.
respect.
Say, why
Ladies
she gotta be a
of the night.
hooker, bro? God.
Wouldn't you think though
Sounds
that
so
a lot of people
unprofessional.
didn't know that he was dead?
Yeah.
I'm sure a guy like him, with his high-profile lifestyle, I'm sure a lot of people in Nevada knew who he was.
You're giving people a lot of credit.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
don't
I'll
give
put it
people
to-
that much
I'll
credit.
put it
I'm
to you-
sorry.
I'll put it to you this way. If I knew somebody who was running a whorehouse around here and it was like booming and they made a TV show about it, I'd know who the fuck it is.
Yeah,
For sure.
but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, see.
I mean,
They wouldn't even have to be running.
Vegas is a big area. So
They wouldn't even have
how
to be
many
running
people
a
are in
whorehouse.
Vegas?
A lot.
Yeah, I bet you.
I
There's
didn't-
a lot of there.
There's a lot of people not in Vegas that knew who he was, though.
Yeah,
The Impractical
Yeah.
Jokers still get away with fooling people.
Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
true.
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
The Jackass dudes, back in their day, you think they still got away with a lot of stuff? I mean, they did make Bad Grandpa, but he was in a lot of makeup.
He was in a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
The same thing with Sacha Baron Cohen. Like, he still gets away with stuff, but
Ugh,
Yeah.
He's annoying.
he does a lot of makeup
I
now.
can't stand his
Really?
shit. He's annoying.
Oh.
He's just
What?
a little over the
I
top.
love Sasha.
Over the top.
He was funny at one time. I don't think he's funny
Dude, the
anymore.
best ever was in Borat when he's running around his room naked with that other fat guy. And, like, obviously he's naked, but, like, he's put the sensor bar over his dick, but he made it super long.
Yeah.
That was genius. That was just,
No, my favorite.
that was all right by me.
My favorite Borat moment is when they go to the bed and breakfast with the Jewish people, and they find out that they're Jewish because they have all like the like pictures and all the like
Oh, they get up and leave?
well, they release roaches in their house, so the
Oh,
lights go
man.
on, the roaches are scattered. They're like, they shapeshifted the roaches, throw money at them, throw money at 'em." And then they just run screaming out of the house. That shit I could still watch, and that shit gets me every single time.
Fucking Borat.
Yeah.
Oh, man, we got another comment here from Ken Cabman. I haven't seen him in a while. He says Overlord looks sick as fuck.
See, I'm with you.
It
Ken.
does. I agree.
I don't know. I can't. I don't.
It
see
started out all serious, like the preview dude. Like, oh, this is
Yeah.
like a Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all of a sudden, this dude was
The
like,
bullets come ripping through the plane,
Yeah.
and then
yeah, it was cool.
I don't know. You always got to cut to me when I'm not
I know,
looking
I
at
do.
it.
I'm sorry, I thought you were moving on.
See, asshole part of you. I was right about.
I didn't mean to.
I'm just messing with
Suck
you.
it.
I love
Yes.
you, bro. After a few
I
drinks,
know.
you never know. Just might.
I don't know. We've been pretty hammered. How you've yet to try to suck my dick. So
I'm
he's
still
warming you up.
I'm still.
Buttercup.
yeah.
I'm still scared, man. I know you own guns. What else do we? Election-wise, what else do we got?
Oh,
here?
that was it for all the election news.
That was it for all the election
Yeah.
stuff. Let's move on here. We got about 12, 15 minutes at
We got
least.
local news.
We want to talk about the?
Nah, the lady stole a bunch of Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, she stole $1,600 worth of Girl Scout. This was just up north in North College Hill.
Oh, wow.
She stole $1,600 worth of Girl Scout cookies.
You think she's like selling them out of the back of a van or
That's what I was
something?
going to say.
She was actually part of a Girl Scout troop, and they sent her the cookies. The official Girl Scouts of America sent her the cookies, and then she sold all the cookies, or had the girls sell all the cookies.
Yeah.
Kept
And then-
all the money.
And she kept all the money. Yeah,
Nice.
I was thinking
Dirty.
I was thinking this was like the great Nutella heist from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I first saw this story.
Maybe she's gonna hook up.
Yeah, you never
That'd
know.
be funny.
Hey, a little tip. Kroger sells the cookies are made. They have like mint cookies
Yeah.
and peanut butter cookies
taste
that
just like
are
it?
just like it.
I've
They're
heard
they're
that.
made by the same manufacturer.
Trying to take money out of the Girl Scouts.
Right? I'm not trying to. I'm just saying when they're not selling all year round, you can get it all year round at the Kroger.
Wait for
Nice.
this Girl Scouts.
Yeah, I know. I'm not trying to steal from 'em, I swear.
I'm a Samoa's guy, or
Oh, yeah,
caramel
They do.
delight.
They
Right,
have
caramel
the,
delights.
so they've touched almost all the different flavors, not the traditional flavors, not
What
the
are you
new
doing?
ones. I'm sorry.
She's sitting
just-
right here.
I'm just trying to help you. I know how much people love Thin Mints.
Oh, yeah. I love Thin Mints. I like to put them in ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, make milkshakes out of them.
Oh,
that's a Girl
yeah.
Scout cookie
like
milkshake?
Dairy Queen
Oh, yeah.
Blizzards
Oh,
with that
man.
one in there. I think they're like grass.
You get like chocolate chip ice
God,
cream.
I'm
put some
gaining 10
milk,
pounds just thinking about all these
Yeah.
Girl Scout cookies.
Put some milk,
Your
break up some
diabetes.
cookies in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Diabetes.
Yeah. Girl Scouts is actually suing
Suing the Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
Oh.
I saw about this.
Yeah.
'Cause what was it? The Boy Scouts were forced to change
Well,
the name.
they weren't forced, but they took the like. I guess there was like pressure, like because girls wanted.
They're
to be
allowed to
Boy
have
Scouts.
girls in it
Right.
now, pretty much.
So they changed their name to Scouts, and now they're allowing Girl Scouts or girls to be in Scouts.
Why
But
don't
you
they
can't
just
call them Girl
combine?
Scouts though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I always thought they were the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought they
Well,
were
I
too.
mean, you learn different skills, but why would you not combine so that you could learn the skills? Like a girl can go and learn the skills
Had
that
to
a
like wash
boy would
dishes,
have.
and,
Right.
like, make sandwiches.
No, that's okay. I hear it all the time at home. All in jest. All in jest. No, I mean, this. I was watching a story about that recently, and a girl was wanting to learn some of the skills that the boys did, and she wasn't learning it in Girl Scouts, so she wanted to join the Boy Scouts, right? So
Yeah.
that's what.
So maybe
originally
they're pissed
started
that
it.
they're like taking the heat, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like because Girl Scouts can't change their name to Scouts now
Right.
and become Scouts
Just
as well,
combine.
or combined. Yeah.
Yeah, just combine.
Just
Sell
combine it,
popcorn and Girl Scout cookies together.
Yeah. I mean, I took home ec class in high school.
Right. I
Right.
did too.
You know,
I loved
and
home ec
I,
class.
Well,
dude, the best part was like making all the good
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Bacon Day was my favorite.
Did you
Bacon
guys
day,
like
yeah.
sewing and home
Yeah.
and home ec?
Yeah.
I used
We never
sewing
got that
today.
far.
Or cross stitching.
I never
Yeah.
did cross stitching. We just learned how to we made pillows and like fix rips and stuff. I use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm constantly having to sew buttons on shit. And Dad, my shirt ripped. All right, well let me fix it.
See, my favorite thing was Orange Julius. We learned how to make an Orange Julius
Oh,
in
yeah.
home ec class.
Oh,
That
yeah?
was the tits.
Oh
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm just like, I didn't learn how to do that. in
I know,
home
I-
ec. Why didn't I learn this?
I just had to like make cakes. We never learned how to like make drinks or anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later in high school that I learned how to mix drinks.
That's probably why you didn't in home ec. Was it like 7th grade or 8th grade?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to think. When did I do home? No, it was definitely high school.
Was it?
Yeah.
I want to say it was like sophomore, junior year, something like that.
I had home ec my
Yeah.
senior year, and it was like the last class before I went to vocational school. So
Yeah.
it was like I don't give a fuck.
You just fucked off.
I just
the whole
fucked
time.
off the whole time, and
Yeah.
the teacher absolutely hated me. Crazy thing is, I had the same class with my twin sister, so we were in the same class together,
Oh,
and she
wow.
like completely just like I don't know him. She's like I don't know him. Yeah, like we fucked around so bad. Like the teacher, she's like we just can't get nothing done because everybody's just fucking off.
The class that I did that in was art class,
Yeah.
and I legit failed it.
Like
Because
straight
the
up
teacher
F.
hated me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a lot of teachers that liked me up until a certain point in high school when I realized that they were all full of shit
Yeah.
and was like, fuck them.
You
Yeah.
learn how to like work them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once they
I could see
realized I
that.
was working them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was probably the only kid in my high school that used to sell bootleg movies. Not just to students. I was selling to faculty. Straight up, they would find me in the hallways and
You're
be
like the Zach Morris of school.
except I wasn't trash.
Jerry say there's trash.
But literally, like when Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out, I forget what year in high school that was. It was junior or senior year. I sold more copies of that bootleg than anything else I ever bootlegged. I used to bootleg porn
I was gonna say
For
you should
some-
like
for some teachers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Houston 500. Remember when that came out?
Yeah, yeah.
I was bootlegging that to faculty.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they were like,
Release the names, bro.
they were like, you know how to get movies, right? I'm like, yeah, I can get you whatever movie you want. And they were like,
Stitches get stitches.
Houston 500. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, if you can deliver, I can know some other people that want it too.
And we're worried about our Catholic.
But
I was gonna say I would have trolled some teachers like, oh yeah, this is that new Fast and the Furious, and it's like big bitches 20, something like that.
Yeah, but I was trying to make money
Yeah.
in high school.
Well,
man.
you know, it'd be like that was the first preview. I legitimately will give you something good this time. Not really.
Here, this one's my favorite. It's called Bargain Bob's.
Yeah.
Here, a little free sample. Share that with your friends.
Favorite porn titles, cock pigs ever. Found that in a dude's computer at the old place I used to work at. He was like, my computer's running really, really loud, and I popped open the disk drive. I'm like, oh, maybe because you have a DVD called Cock Pigs in here. Yeah. So funny.
It's a animated movie about
It's a kids movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
about a
They
rooster.
pigs and
That
roosters,
was,
man. Yeah.
It's like a talking pig, and there's a spider in it and shit.
You ever seen that old
Come on, man.
Garfield show that came on before Garfield?
Garfield
It was
Friends.
that. It was that.
I used to love that show. I liked it more than Garfield,
Yeah.
man.
Man, Garfield was the shit.
Garfield was the shit, but I liked his friends better.
You know what's sad? I don't think kids really know about Garfield anymore.
No. Or Heathcliff.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff.
Yeah, Heathcliff was like before
And
Garfield.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
I don't know Cleopatra.
That was his girlfriend.
Heathcliff?
Or Heathcliff.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're
Yep,
right,
The
yeah.
white kitty.
I always
She was
like
Siamese.
Yeah.
gummy bears. They used to like drink like jelly, and then they would bounce around everywhere.
I don't remember that at all. That was after my childhood. I
Darkwing
think.
Duck.
Darkwing Duck
get
was awesome.
Dangerous.
I remember
Didn't
that
they
one.
come back with Darkwing
Yeah.
Duck?
I'm not sure.
That or I think they released it on one of the streaming services.
Yeah,
but
I think that's
you
what
can
it
get
was,
like
yeah.
the whole box set.
Really?
Darkwing Duck, yeah.
I would like that because when Darkwing Duck was popular, that was like the one thing I did like the box top send away for.
Yeah.
And I had like a Darkwing Duck fanny pack.
Nice.
And even when
Dude,
I got
you still
it,
got that?
no, I wish I
Dang.
did.
That'd be worth a lot of money.
Probably.
I bet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Awesome.
would be eBay.
But even when I had it, I knew like, no, I'm never wearing this shit.
You're like, no, no, I ain't that
Let me see.
baller.
Let me see my notes real quick here. I made some notes on the
Celebrity
the thing,
death.
but it's kind of a celebrity death. I just want to get his name right here.
Yeah, because I can't read your freaking handwriting.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Celebrity death, not so much anymore, but it's kind of a crazy story. I just want to talk about it. Former pro boxer Mario Oscar Mello, with a professional record of 21-9, most notably known for fighting Michael Moore in 1990 for the WBO light heavyweight title, which he lost in the first round. Cock your pistol for this, guys. He died in a croissant eating contest.
Oh.
Wow.
How the hell do you die eating a croissant? I mean, I can understand Mama Cass choking on a ham sandwich.
How many did he eat?
It
Just
didn't say
one.
how many he ate. But
Come on, we
but
didn't
it
know
only
this.
it only took one to choke him to death.
That's true.
Just too damn flaky, man.
There's a girl.
Yeah, it would have to be like a really dry croissant. Like when I think of croissant, I think like one of those
They're so flaky. Like
Rafferty's with
Yeah.
the honey butter on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
and
Don't
just
even
dripping.
go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, now I'm very curious.
there was a college student girl who died eating a pancake eating contest.
I could see that, though.
Yeah,
She
'cause they're
choked out
Fat,
the
fat.
same way.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
could see
You
that.
said she choked out?
Mm-hmm. And they like did life rescue and everything. Like the contest stopped, try to save her.
Really?
They tried to stop this guy. They didn't have any medical personnel on hand, but a
What?
paramedic and a doctor were in the crowd and tried to revive him and couldn't do it.
So one of the things this actually kind of ties into what my job is.
Yeah.
So I'm
Food safety.
Yeah, I'm food safety, food scientist. Is what I'm very nerdy about. So I'm trying to hold that back. But there's a lot of news right now about a lady that was on a flight. She bought a sandwich in an airport in England, and she ate the sandwich, and there was an allergen in it that she specifically asked if it was in there or not. And I think it was sesame seeds, and the guys told her no, and she died on the flight to Paris.
Wow.
And so there's a lot of publicity going on about that. So it makes me wonder, did he have an allergic reaction? So maybe he didn't choke.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
there was
true.
some kind of allergy in there that he just didn't know about
Yeah.
that he was allergic to,
He
and
went
then
anaphylactic
consumed too
shock.
much of it and went into anaphylactic. There's no way to save somebody like that.
That's a good idea. I never thought about
Yeah,
that.
you should be
Did I just give you a way to
you should
take
be
someone
like
out?
you should be like a food detective. Like that sounds way cooler than food scientist.
Right. Well, I like to do hashtag Jen the food scientist on all my posts.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep running with that then.
Wouldn't they need like the shot to give into that?
Yeah, like an EpiPen.
Yeah, like an EpiPen.
Wouldn't they be on a plane? Well, don't they have that on a plane?
They
They're so
should,
dang
but if they don't,
expensive.
yeah, well, that's the thing too. And doctors, I mean, even whenever I didn't know this, I just learned this from somebody who has to go get allergy shots. Now you have to buy your own EpiPen to take with you to get your allergy shots, just in case you have a reaction, because the doctors won't carry your EpiPen. Yeah,
Because they're so expensive.
because they're so expensive, and they'll expire if they never use them, so they don't
Isn't
keep
it-
a fresh one on hand.
Isn't the whatever is inside an EpiPen? Isn't the chemical or whatever? Isn't it really cheap? But the one company owns the patent, and they drove up the price.
They did. Yeah, there was
It's
a
like
lot of publicity about that.
4,000.
Yeah, but the good news is
They
that
have
the
a knockoff one now.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
FDA has
But the
approved a
same
new one.
people did it,
Yeah.
and it's like the same stuff. They just sell it at what, like half the price, which is still 200% more than what
Than
it
it should
actually
be.
costs to make it.
Well, that's just our healthcare system. Big pharma,
Big
bro.
pharma.
And then they pat themselves on the back like, "Hey, we heard all you guys talking.
Yeah,
we
so
reduced
we dropped it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I mean, if you knew the margins on pharmaceuticals and even
it's
that whole
ridiculous,
section of the
yeah.
grocery store, those margins are ridiculous. I mean, it's marked up like 150%.
Dang.
Wow.
Like
Easily.
Advil and stuff too.
Yeah, all that
Really?
stuff
Yeah.
is. I mean, it's just insane how much money those companies make.
What happened to the good old days when you could go and buy Tylenol without a safety seal and get home and realize it's cyanide? You know, what happened to those days, man? You know, back in the day,
That dang FDA.
I know,
You used to be able
screwed
to
it up for
buy,
everybody.
used to be able to buy like liquid heroin with like
Yeah, what's that meme? It's like, oh,
Name.
you don't feel
marijuana
good.
added to it and
Yeah.
everything. It was like had alcohol with it too, or something like that back in the day.
It's like, oh, you're sick. You got ghost in your blood. You should
Yeah.
do some heroin about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right?
Damn heroin to get rid of all them ghosts in your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
So, all right, we are at the 1 hour mark, but there's something I got to talk about here. I saw this. I was just scrolling through Facebook when I was making these notes, and let's see, where are my notes here? Yeah. So let's talk breast milk for a minute, shall we? Yeah. Apparently, there's been a study between the correlation between like caffeine intake in pregnant women, or that women that have already had the baby and they're breastfeeding.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently this was a big deal, and I mean I'm just looking for an excuse to talk about boobs at this point, but
Fair enough.
they say
I knew what I was walking into.
yeah, you knew. They say what do I got here? I can't even read my own damn writing here. Caffeine appears 15 minutes after ingestion. So, ladies, you got about 15 minutes to breastfeed them youngins before the caffeine is going to show up in the breast milk. The max concentration is reached in 1 hour. So you definitely want to drink it, then you got 15 minutes, then 45 minutes after that. You don't want to be breastfeeding if you don't want your kid to be all jacked up on caffeine coming at you like spider monkeys.
Is this like what they make Monster Milk out of?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Ever since I read this article, Monster Milk's been an ad on the side of my Facebook. Yeah. So I think that's what I'm going to order something.
Okay, so did that also say that only 1.5 to 3.2% of mom caffeine reaches the breastfed baby?
Are you reading the same thing that I read?
I didn't find it on Facebook. I just Googled it real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Yeah,
and it says no effect on
the
breastfed baby with mom.
I don't even need notes.
Right?
Jamie, you're fired. Jen, you're hired.
Yes.
We don't need Jamie anymore.
Exactly what I wanted to do.
But yes, that's exactly what it says. It says as long as you have like 2 or 3 cups a day, you're fine.
That's
Should be
good
all
to
right.
know.
It is. See, I'm just trying to be
Yeah.
educational here. You know, we had a mayor candidate on, and we got Jen to vote for him. You know, so now any breastfeeding moms who listen to the show, they know too.
Yeah,
They
stay
gotta
for the
learn.
1 hour mark.
Yeah.
So we waited all the way to end to talk about it.
Hey, if you want
That's
the
right.
goods, you gotta wait. But no, let's talk about breast milk here. I have always heard that breast milk is super sweet. I've never had the chance to try any breast milk myself. Have you guys ever had breast milk at all?
No.
No.
Not even Cambodian breast milk?
It's
Not
the
when you
finest
were-
of breast milks.
Were you not breastfed?
No, I wasn't.
I
No.
don't think I was either.
I was, but I don't remember it because I stopped at a young age. I didn't continue to breastfeed until I was like 12 or 13, like some people.
Well,
you
I
see
know
about
it's-
that weird shit all the time.
It's,
Yeah, my
it's
wife-
higher fat content. I know that.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, so you can gain weight quickly.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to lose weight quickly. So I'd probably have to cut back to like a half a cup of breast milk. Yeah. If any fans are watching right now and you have access to some fresh breast milk, please mail it to me.
I'm
like to
now
try some.
curious
Guys
about
that
the
are,
nutrition.
Guys that are like on steroids and stuff like that are
Do they
serious and
drink
it. Oh, yeah.
breast milk?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we need to do? Somebody needs to pull up whole milk so you can compare it.
Yeah.
So 1 cup of breast milk is 171 calories, 11
Right.
grams of fat. I know whole milk percentage, I can't remember I think it's 12 grams, but I know it's like, it's whole milk is 3.25% is what we try on getting on butterfat. But carbohydrates are 17, and that's all sugars, like natural sugars.
In breast milk?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what this is saying, so I don't know how.
What's the sugars in whole milk?
I can't remember. I have to look it up. Hold on.
Mine.
I'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my
I'll say-
computer's under lock and key.
Yeah.
That's all
Jamie!
right. I'll find it. Don't you worry. I'll get you.
When it comes to milk, though, I can't do 2%. It just tastes
Really?
too
I did
watered
2%,
down.
man.
So
I got to do whole milk.
whole
I can
milk,
go.
yeah, whole milk's 3.7% fat. It's 9 grams. So it was 11 grams of fat for breast milk. It's 9 grams for whole milk. But I'll tell you what we do because I used to work in the dairy industry for 8 years. And what we do is we actually separate the skim and the whole milk completely,
Yeah.
and then reintroduce them together to the percentage so we can standardize it and get the right percentage to you every single time consistently. So they remix it together. So actually cow's milk is like 5.6% butter fat, or like anywhere between 5.5 to like 6.5%. So, but carbohydrates, they have 11 grams. So breast milk has 17 grams, whole milk has 11.
So breast milk is
It
worse
is.
for
It's-
you, really.
Well, no, it's it's better for you as an infant.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, there's a whole
But-
anti.
But I mean, now, like if I were to
Yeah.
drink a gallon of breast milk in a week, that would not be good.
You'd probably gain weight because you're ingesting more sugar and more fat.
For the record, I drink almond milk. I don't even drink regular milk.
There's
Man,
a big
you got them
controversy about
titties.
that.
I know because of people milking almonds.
Yeah.
I know.
There's
Such
the
a
process
crime.
that it takes to get almond
I
milk.
know,
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
squeeze the almond nipple, to
Yeah.
get
That's
the
what I'm saying.
almond
You gotta
milk.
get your hand
kinda
in there and
flick
milk
it
the
and-
teat a little bit. Yeah.
No, there's
No.
a big,
Environmentally, it's bad.
oh, I
Yeah,
haven't.
yeah.
Yeah, they've talked about that
Yeah.
too.
They say it leaves so many bad chemicals that they just like let run into the water system. That it's not even worth it. But you know what? I like almond milk. It tastes good.
You know,
It
I
tastes
don't know if I buy all that because I know what we do at the dairy plants. I mean, they have wastewater treatment facilities almost on site for all of them, and they resell a lot of the solids that they don't use
Yeah.
to like the cow farmers and that stuff. So it's getting,
Now, when you say solids in a milk plant, what exactly are we talking about here?
well, like when you separate the curd and the whey from
Oh,
the
okay.
milk. So the solids are the curd. The whey is, you can get whey powder.
Yeah, I was
out
gonna
of
say
it.
you probably
Yeah.
sell it to like protein companies. Yeah.
There's all kinds of uses for all of
Ways
that.
worth
piece.
that though.
Yeah. We used to make in a plant that I worked in. We made cottage cheese, and we sold the whey to the local
But
farmers.
That smelled horrible.
It's not that bad. It's
Really?
just
You
it's
used
got
to.
yeah, you do. It's kind of an acidic smell because it's a lower pH of a product, so you can kind of smell it. I mean, it just reminds me of acid, I guess, but
Yeah.
kind of burns your nose. But when you're making, I don't know, they made 6 vats every night that were probably 900 to 1,000 gallons per vat.
Dang, that's a lot of cottage cheese, man.
No,
Sounds
that
good,
only
though.
yields. I can't remember the yield on it, but that wouldn't yield that much as much cheese. So it's
Really?
1,000 gallons of milk,
Yeah.
but then you separate it all. So the curd, I can't remember.
What's
what
the
it is.
separation process? Are they spin it, or what do they do?
So it's in a big, large, open vat that they add the bacteria in there to start that process, and
Yeah.
then they heat it up to give it the right environment to start growing, and then the bacteria grows and I can't. It's like lactobacillus or something like that. I can't. You're testing my memory here. This is the nerd part that comes out. But yeah, so they cook it, and then once they get it to a certain temperature, they hold it and let the bacteria grow, and then it separates from that because the byproduct of the bacteria is.
Sounds like you're making beer.
It is. It's a lot like, there's a lot of processes that are like making, fermentation. It's not a fermentation, but that's the same concept of growing yeast, and making bread or whatever. Yeah. So it's all.
That's cool.
It's all cool.
That's interesting. I always wanted to know that.
Yeah. So. Food chem, food micro.
Nice.
Well, don't fret, folks, because if you like hearing about all that fun stuff, we're going to have Jen back next week. For a little pre-Thanksgiving episode.
The poke your meat episode.
Poke your meat episode.
Definitely going to be poking some meat.
You need to poke your meat.
Yeah, we're going to talk about poking meat of all kinds. And just food safety in general. Yep. Coming up for the big holiday next week.
Yep.
So be sure to tune in again next week, folks. And you're going to see more of the lovely Jen. And we're going to talk food safety.
Yeah.
So you guys don't get sick when you eat 30 pounds of turkey and all that fun stuff over the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yep. And don't poison your, friends and family.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's just a suggestion.
Unless
very true.
Unless you put it in the Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Right.
And then it's...
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I want to get these assholes out of here. Put something in cheesecake.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. People start leaving.
Yeah.
That's why you serve booze out of too. So.
Yeah. Do you make your turkey? Do you make Thanksgiving dinner? Do you cook it?
I've only honestly made it one time.
Oh, wow.
For not.
And everybody got sick. I'm just kidding.
If somebody gets sick under my watch, this is not a good thing. Like, I'm so careful about it, but no, I mean, it's just my husband and I, so we're not the ones that are.
You don't have like family around that you.
Everybody's about 3 to 4 hours away from here for us.
Is that a good thing?
Most days.
I feel you.
Yeah. No. Well, we've lived all over the country.
Yeah.
So, we just ended up here, but both of our families are in the Indiana area.
How'd you end up here?
I've worked 8 years in manufacturing, and I worked for a manufacturing plant in Richmond, Indiana. And then I decided I wanted to leave that company, and I found a job in one of the Kroger manufacturing plants. And that one was actually in Columbus, Ohio. And so I started to do the interview for that. And then I saw they had a corporate job open in Cincinnati. So I got that job at the corporate office. I wanted it instead. Mm-hmm. And so I worked there for 12 years before I left the company and started my own company. Well, I'm sure we'll get more in depth about that next week.
I want to hear more about how you started your company. We'll talk about it next week. Mm-hmm. But that's something I want to hear about.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot. It's just amazing to me, like a lot of the things that have happened in my life the last 20 years. So I've been in the industry 20 years, and so I'm dating myself a little bit, but oh well. I'll own it.
It's okay to date yourself. There's a chick that fucks ghosts.
Oh yeah,
so it's cool to date yourself.
True. That's
dating myself's okay. Okay, fair enough.
A lot of people that watch this show date themselves on a daily basis. So it's okay.
No, please don't tell me about that. I don't want to know.
She ain't coming back next week.
We'll talk about the meat poking.
This is nothing. So Jerry's only met my husband, once.
I've only met him once.
Yeah, in person, but you saw him walking the dogs once. So we haven't had a chance to really, he and I talk, and him and his wife and I talk occasionally, but we haven't had a chance to really, hang out as couples or anything like that and get to know each other.
I'd love to cook you guys dinner one day.
She's like, nope.
As long as you're not standing over my shoulder critiquing the shit out of me.
She's like, I'll come over and clean your kitchen and make sure
you're gonna probe that first.
Everything's good.
I am terrible at cleaning my kitchen and just keeping my house clean in general. It's just like I am so busy. I don't have time to keep cleaning.
My role is to keep the entire house clean. And let me tell you, the kitchen is... I can cook a meal, eat it, and then the whole kitchen is done.
Yeah.
Dude can cook. He really can. And I've never got sick off his food. So.
That's good to know. Thanks for that. So I will know.
Dude can cook.
I love cooking.
Yeah. I like cooking, and because of my job, I've had to travel some and went all around the world whenever I was at Kroger. And so I've been exposed to some of the cuisines in like Europe and in Asia, and I'm really...
So you better up your shit.
Well, I'm not a I'm nowhere near like gourmet chef kind of stuff at all. But I've learned simple little tricks because the people I was hanging out with would tell me their family recipes, and so I learned like a really cool Italian dish that's super simple, and it was it's kind of their version of a casserole.
You know who Salt Bay is? The whole.
Yeah.
That guy, that was my idea. He stole it.
He stole it.
He straight up stole it. Glasses, shirt, everything.
Food Network. A lot of food scientists have a problem with Food Network because they do not teach good skills on there for food safety. Yeah, well, we can talk about that.
I had a question. I was like, I'm going to save that for next week because that's something.
Guy Fieri or whatever. Yeah. Gordon Ramsay.
I was going to say Gordon Ramsay, but we're going to get into
We're getting the next.
Yeah, we can talk about it more.
I can't read minds. Come on now.
I'm going to have to do some research, but I'm sure before I come. So give me, feed me a little bit so I can know. But because I don't watch a lot of the shows anymore, we quit cable, so we don't have cable.
Are you a slinger?
It came from
the
toaster.
No, so we have the that
Sling
antenna.
TV?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
nice.
antenna.
Cool.
Yeah, and then we have Hulu and that stuff. But we just signed up for Hulu, like the extra level of it, so that we can
No
get
commercials.
Hulu
Well,
Plus or whatever.
we were missing football, and
gotcha.
I went to Purdue University. I missed Big Ten. And Purdue's actually playing and showing up this year. So,
well, since you have Hulu, there's a show called Future Man.
Oh God! Oh yeah.
What is it?
Future Man.
He's JHDG. Just so right now.
You get to see Josh Hutcherson's dick in the show.
Oh well,
And
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Gotta watch it.
He loves it.
It's probably.
He watched that episode and came in. And he was like, "Guys,
You gotta watch this show.
you gotta watch the show." What's so cool about it? You get to see Josh Hutcherson's dick.
That's the only thing. I mean,
That's like the big thing he was excited for. He's like, it ain't a good show. It doesn't have a good story. There's no hot chicks in it. But you see Josh Hutcherson's dick.
And that alone. I mean, he's a local guy.
Yeah,
you get to see
that's
his
true.
dick.
Is it
No, the rest of the show is great.
Bluegrass dick. He loves bluegrass dick.
Yeah, just bluegrass dick.
yeah.
That's a great show. Don't let these fucking guys.
Real quick before we get out of here, help me remember this, guys. When were we talking about the Danbarry theaters?
It was like 2 episodes ago.
Was it 2 episodes ago?
I think so.
They
Was it Joe?
I don't know if we were talking to Joe or it may have been that other guy from I can't even think of what his name is now.
Yeah.
From The Grueling Truth.
Yeah.
I think we may have been talking about it with him about the Danbarry and how it was like super cheap and it's been around forever. They've closed their doors now.
Yep.
Over 20 locations across the tri-state area. Closed down.
Locations.
Yeah.
20 locations.
I don't know if they really had 20 locations, but
That was probably a lot.
it may have been a typo. It may have been 2 locations.
I was like 20.
I don't know.
Really? Yeah, I thought they just had the one.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's on Turfway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that was on Turfway.
Was on Turfway.
They Turfway Park owns that lot now, and I think they're going to tear it down. They're going to do like a big expansion for Turfway coming up.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I think they're adding slot machines at Turfway soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They like to play the slots.
Yeah. So
Did you see they banned dog racing in Florida now? They
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dog
they
racing's to
did.
be done
Why
in
would they do
Florida.
they're
that?
so upset. The Floridians are so
Yeah.
upset about it. Everybody I've talked to, because about 8,000 dogs are going to be
up
like-
for
up for adoption.
Dude, they like dog fighting down there too, don't they?
Greyhounds
Yeah.
are good dogs.
Yeah, but
They
greyhounds
are.
can't fight with shit.
Oh, well, I mean, they
can run.
Weed them out.
Yeah.
right.
I'm just kidding.
All right, chill up, Michael Vick.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
Only the strong survive in this house.
boy, I'm so glad I'm married to who I'm married to, because this is nothing. like this is an everyday conversation with him and his buddies. My husband and his buddies.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh man! But yeah, I couldn't believe it. We were just talking about the Danbarry.
Yeah.
I think somebody was even like, "I'm surprised they're still open." Well, guess what?
They're not anymore.
Yeah,
That's
I
sad.
know.
I know.
That's
well,
sad.
after Erlanger shut down, that was like the Erlanger Old Theater was like.
Crushing blow.
Well, I mean, it was like an old, like 2-row theater.
They said the Danbarry Theater was the only theater around that didn't.
Still use film?
No, that didn't have the stadium seats. They
Yeah.
said everybody else is like upgraded like stadium seating.
And that's why, like after Erlanger closed, I was like, yeah, Danbarry's not long left.
Well, it's been a long time. It was like
maybe 10
10 years ago
Yeah.
that Erlanger left. And that was always my favorite theater. Mainly because their seats were always broke and you could lean back a little bit farther.
Yeah,
that was the best part.
And now they got reclining, so.
Yeah.
With seat warmers in them.
Stop it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What I loved about the Erlanger Theater is that you had the marquee, so you could see all the movies that were out at the time.
I love, and it was so big, you know. It was like the other theater that's in Florence now. It's big, but it's not like Erlanger was.
Yeah.
I mean, you had like games on both sides and the big food court thing in the center. I mean, it was so nice, man.
Yeah.
I used to love going to that. I've seen so many movies there.
Me too.
For the record, I like to say I never got kicked out of that theater. They were really cool there.
Yeah.
When we all went and saw Jason X there, we were all underage. They didn't even ID us. They were super cool, man.
That's the 90s, bro. 90s is awesome.
I know.
90s is kick ass.
I will say though, my cousin Durf was with us, and he was over 18. So it was like him and like 8 teenagers, all my friends. He didn't know any of them, and they were like, "Oh, you got an adult with you?" And Durf was like, "Yep." And they were like, "Go on in." It was great. It was a good time, man.
That movie was shit anyway.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Shit all.
Yeah.
Probably become a lesbian.
Black Hawk helicopters.
Yeah, there you go.
Prison Planet on TV.
Well, all right, folks, that's going to be our time this week. I want to thank our guest Jen for coming on, and we're going to see you again next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get you back in
You
here.
can bring some meats over so we can poke him.
We could probably, maybe we should do that.
Don't worry. We
bring
got
our
the
own.
meats covered.
Are you bringing the meats? I'll bring the thermometer.
Just call me Arby's.
We
got the meats.
Wait a minute. Thermometers? What?
Wait a second. What are we talking about?
Hold on here.
No.
But all right. I want to thank everybody. Make sure you check out, help me out on the name here, Safe Food
En route.
Yep. LLC on Facebook.
Yep.
Nice.
You can find out all kinds of fun food safety stuff from.
You should do it like a small
Jen.
podcast, like 10, 15-minute podcast.
Well,
I know a guy.
I know a guy that does it. Yeah.
I know a
Well,
guy.
I told you right before you asked me to do it. My husband and I were talking about like I should do a podcast, but I'll tell you, marketing is when you're a one-person show, it's a lot. It's a lot. So I schedule posts all the time, and I'm trying to do. I have a Safe Food en Route YouTube station too, but I only have four posts on it. So
those are rookie numbers. You got to up them numbers.
I'm telling you.
Numbers.
I'm just like I got to get emails out, and I have 1,000 people to market to and trying to build this business. I'm trying to stand up a pretty substantial sized business.
Yeah, you could always hire somebody to help you with that.
I know.
I know a guy who's a stay-at-home dad. Yeah,
this is really interesting.
I could always use a couple extra bucks, man, to go bet on the dogs or the horses, or whatever I'm betting on.
As long as it's not their meat.
Yeah, whatever.
Ooh.
Hey, big scandals in horse meat.
I've heard
that's
that.
true.
Yeah, I've heard
I'd eat horse meat. I eat deer meat all the time. It's good stuff. I don't know. We'll talk more about this next week.
All right.
We'll talk more about it. We are going to get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on the Snapchat, which I don't think I've posted anything on that in like a couple weeks, mainly because I get no love on there, so fuck it. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you're still watching, there's 3 people watching right now. Click the like button. Share the shit out of this video.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit the bell. Ding, 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 whatever. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. We're going to get some cool tattoos to go with it.
Yeah, let's do that. We get 1,000 subscribers or 100,000. What? And it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're going to get the hell out of here. Be sure to tune in next week for more of the lovely Jen. And I'm Jerry Saylor.
I'm Lefford Slope and Dusty B.
I'm Chubby Friendly.
All right. Jen Crandall, thanks for having me on the show.
No problem.
Later.
Fuck you, Toby.
Wait for it.
Oh.